Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Astley, the Inventor. Welcome to my podcast. Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Askeles. Welcome to the Adventurous Podcast. Hi, Pookie, my beautiful daughter.
Hi, Mom.
What's going on?
Nothing. Happy it's finally fall. It's October. So freaking happy. It is almost
you
Halloween.
Like this. This
is my favorite month.
I know it is, and I love that you love it. I'm so summer and hot weather and just heat and beach and everything else.
I've been waiting for this for so long. I love the month of October.
You do?
I love it. Yep, my favorite.
And you've always been like this. Do you know that I have to go back and think about when you were little and we would go shopping or whatever in the car, you would start stripping naked. In the car because it was too hot for you. I had the heat on in the car, whatever. You had your tights on, whatever. We were going shopping. You took, before we got to the store, you were completely stripped naked. I don't say naked, but naked. You were completely, all of your clothes were off because you loved the cool, cold weather. Is that something?
Yep. I love the breeze. I love all of it. I love Halloween. I love the movies. The funny thing is, I love scary movies, but I can't stand haunted houses. I don't like being scared like in real time. I do not want to be scared in real time.
But you love it, Brittany. So what freaks me out about you is like I don't watch scary movies at all. I don't know if John likes scary movies with you.
He doesn't.
Like how do you go from just being horrified to just just going back home and like talking to John and talking about the movie that you just saw? How do you do that?
Well, I don't talk to him about the movies I saw because he doesn't care.
You
doesn't
kind of need to start.
Them.
You kind of
he doesn't know because
he's almost your husband.
But no, listen. I love scary movies. I think that started in high school. I don't know why I love them. I just love them. I don't like to be physically scared. It's weird. I feel like a lot of people have the same type of fear. Like they love scary movies, but they don't want to be scared themselves. Like people, let's go to a haunted house. Oh, let's do a Ouija board. Like,
so
no, I'm not about that life.
So you're not about that. Like you don't.
No, I want to watch a movie that's scary.
Why,
I like how I don't know. I just like it.
I can't watch anything scary
I
at
don't
all,
know if I like the production, the creativity behind it. I don't know. I like that someone can make you feel an emotion, make you feel fear through a movie. That's amazing. I think that's fascinating.
I love the way you're thinking right now. Like I love all of it, and that absolutely makes sense because
it's a story.
It is a story.
You know, it's great. I love it.
And you're a great storyteller, and you can do all of that.
And I just love Halloween. I love watching old Disney movies that are like cute Halloween stuff. Any little, nothing scary, but it's a cute scary, like little monsters, starring Ben Savage, like all those ones, the Goonies, even though it's not scary, it's adventure.
Right.
I love all of that. I don't know why, I just do. And I just wish it would be October forever. And that's why I'm getting married in October. I just love that fall, leaves changing, low 60-degree weather. It's great. I love it. And scary movies, like I said, John doesn't like scary movies, but he will watch more of the old school scary movies, like the Halloween franchise with Michael Myers. We actually just watched the last installment of the Halloween movie starring Jamie Lee Curtis.
Starring? Like you're so you should be like on one of the credits, starring Jamie Lee Curtis.
Because
you get this whole thing. Like
I love movies.
That. I know that you do, and you need to be probably a part of this whole creating movies. And you've always been like a script writer. You've always been. You should be a script writer.
I'll think about it. Anyway. I know. So anyway, she was the beginning story of this whole thing. So she was in a few movies during that whole chain. So the last one was so good. And it wasn't, Honestly, it wasn't great, but I still enjoyed it.
The last movie?
The last Halloween, yeah.
Huh.
Usually when John and I watch a scary movie, which is rare, he tries it out. He has to cover his eyes. I do too in certain parts, but like...
Do you have to cuddle with him?
I can't because he'll kick. I have to be either on the far end of the couch or a different couch
kick.
altogether. Yeah, because you know when some people get scared, they'll swat the air, punch the air, or just jump really aggressively.
Yeah.
And he's a very tall man, so I want to steer clear of his legs.
I love it. That's
So
great.
yeah, and it's fun watching or trying to watch scary movies with him. And it's so funny because we were talking about this. You know, we're getting married under a year now. It's the countdown.
He's the fiance.
Now he's the
so
fiance.
John is the fiance.
Yes.
So I love saying the fiance.
I rather say boyfriend because fiance
I
sounds
don't
very
like
bougie
boyfriend,
to me.
Brittany. I honestly don't like boyfriend because you're too close to getting married. Like, how do you say boyfriend? He's no longer your boyfriend.
I know.
But like, when did the cutoff start?
I guess
so.
now.
When did the cutoff start? Like from boyfriend to fiance.
I guess this is the cutoff right now.
And did you like saying fiance?
I
when
do.
It started?
I do like saying fiance.
Do you say it?
Yeah, I do say it.
How many times a day?
I
do you
don't
say,
know.
Do you say it at work?
No, I say
My fiance.
I say John because they all know who he is. If I'm talking to a stranger, I'll say fiance.
With an accent?
Yeah.
I can't wait for John to become your husband. So I'll say, your husband just made you a really nice bowl.
Bowl of what?
Oh, something to eat. I don't know.
All right.
John cooks.
Yeah. A
Your
bowl of something.
I don't know. He likes to cook. He makes you happy. He makes food for you.
Yeah. And those of you who, I'll have to refer to Seinfeld again. When Jerry was pretending to be married to Courtney Cox's character, I think her name is Meryl. And it's like, yeah, this is my wife. And he's like, you know what? Wife has a really good ring to it. Kramer's like, my wife has an inner ear infection. That sounds really nice. So it's going to be really interesting saying my husband, because I don't feel like.
Well, you're there.
It's so weird.
It'll happen
It's
very
crazy.
naturally. Didn't he use that when he wanted to get a discount on his dry cleaning?
Yeah, because they were, to get a
Courtney
discount.
Cox,
Yeah,
yes.
this is my wife. She
Yeah.
gets my discount.
I love the whole ringtone to that. I love the way that sounds. My husband, my fiance.
The husband's really going to sink in quick. That's crazy.
The husband's going to sink in. And this is
So
happening
weird.
before you know it.
I know. It's scary.
Yeah. So anyway, love it all. Love my husband. Love my fiance. And
Oh,
just
it's gonna
happy
be
to
so
have
much
John
fun.
as my soon-to-be son-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say that. My son-in-law. John, my son-in-law. That's
Yep.
awesome. Love it.
Yeah, my son-in-law picked up my dry cleaning.
He did. So he has to stick to that. So my son-in-law, John, went to the dry cleaners and picked up my dry cleaning. Well, what else do you do at the dry
I know,
cleaners besides
exactly.
pick up your dry
I hope
cleaning?
there's Seinfeld fans out there because this is all we talk about. So anyway, we have a really good show. We have the owner of this amazing product, Grandma's to Share, Marguerite. Cannot wait to speak with her and talk about her journey creating this amazing, beautiful, heartwarming product. It's just a joy to speak with her, and the product is so beautiful. So let's get straight to it. Here we have Marguerite with Grandma's to Share.
Well, so I want to welcome you to our show. Marguerite Spagnuolo, welcome to our show with Grandma's to Share. You are absolutely amazing.
Wow,
Thank you for being here with us tonight.
It's great to be here.
So you're here with my daughter, my incredible daughter, Brittany Askelis, and myself, and just so interested in hearing everything about what you do, your dolls and everything. And I'll let Brittany take the chair. You talk. What do you have questions to ask her?
Well, Margaret, I feel like we met maybe last year briefly. But I love your product so much just because basically Grandma's to Share is a beautiful plush doll, a grandmother figure. They span from different types of ethnicity. I can't pronounce this. Ethnicities. No, Ma, let me do this.
I'll do the eth. You do. No, I'll do the eth. You do the ethnicity.
What are you talking about?
I'll do eth. You do the rest.
Can I just say it?
I'll do. Let me just say eth, and you do.
Go ahead.
I'll do eth, and you do the rest.
Go.
No, I'll just say eth.
Okay, go.
I said eth.
Ethnicities.
There you go.
For the love of God.
See, teamwork, girls.
It makes a dream work.
Oh man. You know, I never had a lisp growing up. So for some reason now I have a lisp. Anyway.
Welcome to our show. Marguerite,
Thank you so
welcome
much.
to our show.
Anyway, so they're gorgeous dolls, and they ring really true to me because my grandmother passed away what 7 years ago now, around 77 years old. And I just wish I had a voicemail or something where I could just hear her, her last words. And having this, I have one more grandmother left on my father's side, and I would love to just have a doll for her to record. And I do have her voicemails of her singing "Happy Birthday to Me," anything like that.
That's great.
I never delete a voicemail now for my grandmother. So
it's something you deserve forever. Sure.
Yeah. So this is the perfect product, and I'm so happy that we're speaking because everyone should know about Grandma's to Share. And now my question is how, and I know a little bit, but for everyone that doesn't know that's listening, how did this get started for you?
Well, I originally came up with the idea because my daughter is very close to my mother and my mother-in-law. So she loves her grandmas, and she was asking me, Mom, did you love your grandmas too? Because both of them were died before she was born, so she never got to meet them. So I said, oh, absolutely. I loved my grandmothers. They were the best. What did they look like, she said, and what did they wear, and what did they do? So I drew them out like a sketch of a paper doll, like a 2 feet picture of what they looked like and what they wore. I just made a drawing of it, and she looked at it and said, wow, I wish they were really here. And I said, oh, me too. And then I thought, wait, maybe we can just recreate them so everyone can know my grandmas, because I thought they were the best grandmas there were. I mean, doesn't everyone think their grandmas are the best?
Yeah.
So I just did some research, and we found out there's nothing like it out there on the market. And I said, let's just bring them to life. And that's also how I came up with the name Grandmas to Share, because I'm sharing my grandmas with the world.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. We brought them to life, and everyone loved them. This is great. There's nothing like this. And then I got called to be on the show, The Toy Box on ABC. And when we went on that show, they loved it. We made it to the finals. I got a ton of orders. The emails were popping up as the show was airing. And then it hit me that everyone wants their own grandmother. Something that reminds them of their own history, their own culture, their own traditions. And I said, yes, that's what we'll do. Similar to maybe Cabbage Patch, where we have a doll from every country. So every child can know their own history, their own, traditions to carry down to their children and their children. Because I feel we are losing the family connection today.
Yes, we do.
Kids are buried in their iPads and their telephone. Nobody's paying any attention. There's no conversation anymore about where are your grandparents from? How are they brought up? What traditions did they pass down to you that you can take with you forever? What memories do you have?
I have to tell you something, Marguerite. So we are a blended family, and so when my kids were growing up, I love grandparents. I've always loved that, and that's why I'm so in love with what you're doing and your product. And we've had many conversations about this. I know that our parents are not around forever. When my kids were little, I always said to them, speak to your grandparents. Ask them, talk to them.
Yep.
Get stories from them. When my
100%.
Brittany, especially, like when she was little, like she was in love with her grandfather, and she has so many stories to share, I'm sure. Her grandfather and her grandmother, and we're Italian and West Indian. And I would say, Brittany, just like and Gianna and Eddie just like talk to grandma and grandpa and
That's right.
listen to their stories. And they had so many things to share. And they did have that. That's why this is so apropos. Because
Right.
I
And I
was,
just feel it's important for them to know where they came from.
it really is. It really
Right?
is. And
And-
your dolls say that, and they can say anything. So,
Right.
so they can record into the doll like you're doing right now, like giving information and saying I love you or whatever the thing is. I'll be back in 2 weeks, or I'll see you
Right.
soon. And
Right.
that's what I absolutely love about what you have. So
Right.
it's a recordable doll that you can, your grandparents could just record anything and say to you that stays with you forever.
Yes. Yes, that's the whole key, that you have it forever, because those memories should be cherished and they should be kept forever
Yes.
and definitely passed down. I mean, that's important to me. When I originally came up with the idea, though, they weren't recordable, because in my mind, I was creating this doll for kids who didn't have grandmas. So I thought, well, who's going to record the voice if they don't have a grandma, you know? So, but then as time went on and I got all the emails and the phone calls that people wanted their own, and then I thought, okay, well then the mom can record it, or this doll can be anything you want. This doll can be your cherished aunt, your great aunt, your you know, it could be your sister, your cousin. Anyone can record their voice, obviously. So then I said the recording was key. This way people can keep that memory forever on it. A friend of mine has the doll. She said her mom has dementia, so she records her own voice on the doll and changes the message frequently, so her mom won't forget her.
Yeah.
She hears her voice through the doll. It's nurturing. It's soothing. She hears her voice. She has the doll is plush, so it's soft. And she just keeps her voice in her mom's mind, so she helps her with her dementia, which I think is a great idea, something I've never even thought of.
That's beautiful.
So there are just so many ways for this doll to be used, you know. My niece told her mom she was pregnant by giving her the grandma doll.
Oh, my God.
Surprise, Mom, you're going to be a
I
grandma.
love
you know?
that.
Like, oh my God, you know, why are you giving me a grandma doll? Oh my God, you know. And then when the baby's born, the mom records the voice and gives the doll back. And now it becomes a gift for baby showers.
Oh.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
this is
Oh,
huge.
Your grandma is in a nursing home, but she can't leave the nursing home, but she wants to send a gift to her grandkids. So she takes a ride down to the gift shop and sends a grandma doll to her grandkids. Records her voice so the kids will always remember her.
What I love is that the voice just stays forever. You know, so
Right.
even if the battery dies, the voice
Yes.
stays forever. We talked about this yesterday.
That's right.
And
You just change the batteries and that voice comes
yeah.
right back.
And it
Yes.
stays there, because I think that was like the biggest thing. Like if the voice, if the battery dies and you have to change the battery, the voice just stays there.
Right. You never lose the voice. Right.
Because that's the whole thing. Like if you lose your grandma, you lose your mom, whatever it is.
Yeah, that would be awful.
it
I mean,
would be.
as of now, with the doll, you can record over it as many times as you want, but God forbid the day comes when grandma's not here anymore, you clip that record button right off the doll so that you don't lose and you don't accidentally record over it.
Yes.
Or you could, put a drop of glue to glue it shut or something, but you can definitely preserve the voice forever.
I love that so much. And I love the fact that you have so many different ethnicities and so many looks. And I mean, so
well,
I mean,
we're hoping to do one from each country for sure. We need a Lola and a Nona and a Yaya.
And you did that. You did that. You covered
yes, we
them
want a
all.
Vector, and yeah, we want it all. I want to be the next Cabbage Patch conglomerate where we have a doll from every country looking like anyone you want it to look like. I mean,
Looking like everyone.
Aside from custom made, we want them. I mean, obviously, custom made to me, in my opinion, would just be a little bit creepy. You really don't want a doll that looks just like you.
Right, right.
No, but what I love about this is you made and you emulated everyone and elicited every ethnicity.
Right.
I love that the color that you chose. I mean,
the
just
hairstyles, the
hairstyle,
accessories,
the glasses.
Yes, the glasses. I think of a grandma, right? You think of glasses.
It's so funny. I would love to have.
We have different eye color and different hair color and different dresses and stuff. But as far as the look, I mean, that's the look. It's patented. It's trademarked. We have the design patent on it, so that's the look of the doll. I wanted it to be cute yet grandma-ish, not too old looking, but not in some grandmas are like, hey, I'm a hip grandma. I don't have
I
so
actually
great
have
hair.
a sundress like her, like the grandma.
There you go.
I got a
See?
sundress like that.
I
And
mean,
what I
just
love
want it to
about
be
it,
relatable and cutesy.
it is
and
very
comforting.
yes. Yes.
You know, it's not Barbie. It's not
Right.
a doll that makes you feel terrible about your, gives you horrible self-esteem that you don't look like her.
Right.
It's a
Love handle
nurturing
situation. Yes.
doll. Grandma loves you unconditionally. She's
Yes.
not a doll.
Yes.
She is your grandma.
Yes.
That's the whole thing.
No, love
she doesn't
that.
have to look just like her. She's a representation of your grandma. That's all.
Yes. Yes. I've been thinking about my grandmother, Pauline, that passed. I'm thinking about my grandma, Terry, that's here with us now. I would love to give this to her for Christmas. I might have to apply some like stick-on nails,
Right.
Her nails
You
are-
can customize
you know,
some
you're right.
acrylics.
And they actually fit in clothes from another company. I don't know if you want me to say the name, but
No, it's okay. You can say
another
it.
stuffed animal, very big company. The dolls fit into those clothes. So you can buy super hip outfits if your grandmother wears jeans or, denim jackets or leather jackets. You
Right.
can get clothing, but we also make different dresses right now and different slippers, but still in the grandma family.
Yeah, that's
I love
great.
the slippers. I mean, the slippers are so me.
I love
I
the
know they're
slippers.
very Yuma.
The
You're
sli- aren't the
you're
slippers
based. You're practically a grandmother
I'm
right now.
almost a grandmother.
without the
I sweep
grandchild.
the porch.
You
Love
sweep
it.
the porch. You
Brittany
say
comes
hi to
over.
Gladys across the street.
Brittany goes, "Mom, what are you doing?" I go, "I'm sweeping. I'm
Every
sweeping
time.
the porch." She goes,
Yeah.
Why are you?
I love it. Yep. No, the slippers are my favorite part, actually. They're Velcro, so everything's interchangeable. If you want to change their dress, you want to change their slippers, it's all Velcro, so it's easy for the child to change.
It is so nice. And I want to get to the root. When you first started Grandmas to Share, what was your journey like doing a prototype to manufacturing? What was that adventure for you? And how long did that
that was
take?
very simple. One word. Torture.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That's it. That's what it was. It was
One word.
I mean,
torture.
you guys know I'm a one-woman show, so
I love it. I love your authenticity.
torture.
I love. Well, it is torture. It's
I'm not going to lie. I'm not
Well,
going to
yeah,
sugarcoat it
yeah.
and tell you it's great and it was so fun and it
Well,
it
yeah.
was way harder than I ever expected. In my mind, I'm just going to have a doll made in China.
I love
I'm
it.
going to put it on Amazon and I'm just going to sell out.
Yeah.
I love
that's just
so
not how
your
it goes.
honesty because
Oh, yeah.
so many listeners are out there who think that because they watch Shark Tank or whatever, they can invent a product and automatically they become rich and they invent a product
Right.
and it's
No
a grandma's
problem.
to share and it's no big
Yeah.
deal and they put it on QVC and they put it in the marketplace. But it's a journey. It's not that. So
Oh, no, it's a definite journey.
I
Yeah.
love the fact that you come out with your authenticness and you just talk about your whole
it's-
journey.
Yeah.
This
no,
is so.
I wouldn't sugarcoat it at all. If anyone asked me, flat out,
and
yeah.
Margaret, honestly, I don't think you ever could.
No, that's
just,
true.
Not just being Staten
that's-
Island and the
that's
whole
a
thing.
given.
Like you could
Correct.
you cannot sugarcoat anything at all and just talk about
it's
your
just
journey.
in me.
Like it's not
Right.
anything that anybody thinks that they can they do.
No,
You're
I mean,
walking
it's obviously way harder than I expected. But if you believe in something and you're willing to put the work in to make it work, then it becomes less of a hassle. I mean, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Those are
you
your
just
meetings,
got to do
but-
it though, right?
Yeah, you have to. You're dealing with China. They're a 12-hour difference.
Or
So
not
if you
just
don't
China,
Have a meeting
or-
with them.
Not
You're
just
up in the middle
China.
of the night.
Or just your belief system in what you're doing. Either you
Right.
do it or you don't. It doesn't matter where you're manufacturing it. Either you do it or you don't.
Yes,
it's
I
not
agree.
that simple. It's not like
Right.
let me invent this thing and somebody's going to pick it up.
Right.
The shark's going to pick
Well,
it up.
yeah.
Or
The problem
it's-
is that you come up with the idea and then you don't realize, oh wait, I have to get a business license if I'm going to sell them. Oh wait, I need a tax ID number. Wait, I need a patent. Hold
It's
on. I need to create
everything.
a name. Oh, you don't realize I need a website. You don't realize all the things that come along with it until you're actually in the moment. And as you're going along, and then you're like, okay, I went this far, now I have to do this. Then I went this far and I have to do this. My patent attorney was like, wow, you're doing this by yourself. I give you a lot of credit. And he wrote this giant article on me, which I was so amazed. I was like, I didn't even think he paid attention. I figured I was just one more person in his, contact list that he did, work for. But he was like, wow, this is no joke. I said, nope, this is definitely no joke. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hours. It's grueling, but I almost gave up on it. I did. I'm not going to lie. The month that I launched was September. And then we had like a grand opening. We had a book signing, and it went really, really well. It was in a local gift toy store, so it went really well. And then right after that, my dad got sick, and they live in Florida, so I had to go there. And then I went there to sit with him, and I had like a small kiosk in the Staten Island Mall. And I had a few friends that helped me out and worked that kiosk for me. And they called me in Florida and said, we need more dolls. We're selling out in the kiosk. We have to get more dolls from your house. And I'm like, oh boy, they still had to be boxed and put together and put into their regular boxes and, dressed. And I said, oh, what am I going to do? So, my mom and everybody was like, go home, just go home. And you'll come back when your father's better, and you'll see him when you come back. And I said, no, I don't want to go. I should stay. No, it's Christmas time. You have to be with your kids. You have to go home. Your dolls are selling out. You have to go. So, of course, excuse me, I did. I went home. And then my dad ended up dying on Christmas Day. Oh. So that just, riddled me with guilt. It was terrible.
So why were you guilty? I mean, I'm sure that this is something that your father wanted you to do.
Well, that's what ended up eventually pushing me through, is because I just, felt terrible for leaving. So I kind of died as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then your father, I'm sure, had a lot to do with this whole project lifting.
Well,
right?
That's true.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
8 months later, and I thought about it, and I said, you know what? He would never want this. He was like right there.
Wasn't he your mentor? Wasn't he your mentor? Didn't he talk about everything?
Every day. Did you get them? Did you call? Did you get the patent? Yes. What did the guy say? How many can he make you at one time? Did you order? You need to get like 10,000 of these. These are going to be a big hit. Oh my God. Did you call this one? Did you call that one? He says, fly to California to audition for Shark Tank. I said, no, Dad, they'll have auditions in New York. No, don't wait for them to get to New York. Fly to California, go audition. So I'm like, if I let this company die, then everything happened for no reason. That I left him in the hospital, and I can't. He would never, ever want that. Never. So then that's when I started just getting back on the horse, and I applied for the toy box, and then they called me, and I was like, all right, maybe this is a sign, maybe. And they put me in Studio 23 at ABC Studios, and that was my father's number.
Wow.
And yeah, he wants me to be here. He wants me to be on TV. Here we go. And they called me back within 2 minutes of me filling out the application, that they wanted me to speak to the producers. And then I said, yeah, okay, we'll talk to the producers. I figured it's just another step. And then she called me back in a half an hour and said, my producers, they want to speak with you. Can you do an audition on Tuesday? Great. We did. And then right on the spot, they said, yep, we're going to put you on the show. I was like, okay, thanks, Dad. Thanks for the push, Dad.
Wow.
So that's what gave me a little bit more of a push to get back on it. I couldn't let it die.
That's amazing.
So we took a little break. We went on the toy box, and then we revamped the entire company, came up with recordable dolls that look different, and we just got them in last July. So I'm actually only about a year into this new revamp of the company.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So how long as a whole have you been working on Grandma's to Share?
Well, we started the company in 2014. Like I said, he died 2 months later, so the company kind of shut down for about 8 months. As soon as we got back up on it in 2015, and the show called, and by the time we went to production and airing, and that was 2017. So I'm saying from beginning to end so far, it's been 5 years.
Okay. And another thing, to find a manufacturer, what was that process like for you? Because we have a lot of entrepreneurs that we speak with on the podcast that have different stories and scenarios where it could go amazing or crash and burn several times. What was your journey like finding a manufacturer?
Yes, again, that was absolute torture because you don't realize all the things you need to look for. So when I went online to research a company, and they're working with cash. You have to send them cash. You agree on a prototype, and it took me 9 prototypes before we agreed on one.
I love that you're saying that. Nine prototypes.
Okay. 9, and it's $200 a prototype.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going for that money, and then you agree on the prototype. Great, let's make a deal. This is the price. Fine. You send the money. You wire the money, and then they send you the products. But what happens is, if you don't have an inspector over there, they're making you the doll that they feel like making you. So my doll,
or how they or the vision
they
that they
did not,
see. It's the
right,
vision that they see.
or
Yes.
they're going to chintz on the material, or they're going to give you a different yarn for the hair because they found a cheaper one, but you already paid. So I had they sent my dolls, they look like aliens. They cut out all the stuffing in the face, so the face was not round anymore. Now it was a triangle. They didn't put any stuffing in the fingers, so the doll had flippers instead of fingers. And the hair was like a matted, knotted instead of that full, fluffy yarn. And here I am, about 12 hours before I'm supposed to have a grand opening. We had the 18-wheeler pulling into my driveway, and I had 16 people here pulling boxes off the truck, pulling off the wrapping, stuffing them into boxes to get them ready for the grand opening, which was the next morning, before we had a chance to look and say, hey, where's all the stuffing in the face?
So you did not get a pre-production sample. So you did not get that.
We did, but we didn't have an inspector checking the entire batch before it went out. So something I learned way later, after 2,000 dolls were manufactured.
And this is part of it. Yep.
And then I learned, and then I got, I rented a place in Manhattan with Damon John's office in Blueprint and Co. And I met some people there, and they're like, what? And then I spoke with Damon, and he said, no, you need an inspector over there. And then he gave me a number of someone to call. Next time you have the dolls done, now you have to send an inspector before they leave China.
Yes.
So, these are the things I had to learn on my own. So then I'm stuck with these dolls. And when I call them, hey, this isn't the sample we agreed on. And they gave me the story of, well, we did so many samples. There's no, I'm like, what?
Really, we can talk about this forever. And you're such a wonderful example of how products gone wrong is like giant. And everybody can't do this. Marguerite, everybody's not cut out to do this, and it's really this is something that you decide to do as a side hustle, or something that you decide to make more, you think that you're going to make more money on, but it's not something that everyone is cut out to do, and it's really not.
Absolutely not.
It really isn't.
No, so many people have said, everyone has an idea. You're really following through with it. That's pretty impressive.
And everyone wants to make money doing.
I feel drained.
No, I'm very impressed with you. You know that. I'm so proud of you. And really,
I know you believe in this.
I do.
I'm so glad you see my vision. It's amazing.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
It's really
it is a difficult journey, but I feel like every kid needs to have this doll, and I can't stress it enough that it's not just, a little gadget or a new toy.
No, we love your passion, man. Love your passion.
Stay with your family forever.
And it makes sense.
Right. That's how I feel. It makes sense. Right.
It
100% makes sense.
I love it. I can't wait to give this, like I said, to my grandmother for Christmas. There was one thing I wanted to touch upon. Was there any point in time during this journey that you were like, you know what, I can't, it's too much? Have you been so overwhelmed? But it was a good overwhelming that you're like, no.
Yeah, it's overwhelming, but I am also very competitive by nature. So for me, the challenge was I went this far. I'm definitely not stopping now. Like I said, the only thing that really crushed me was when my father died, and I just felt defeated at that point. And then the guilt for leaving him was just too much to bear. So besides falling into that horrible guilt and depression, I still wasn't going to give it up. I just couldn't do it. Now it has to, now even more so, once I got back up and I said, now even more so it has to go. This is something he wanted and believed in, and I can't put all that work into it and drop it now. I can't do it.
That's
amazing.
Just
not in me.
That's
just
amazing.
Not in me. I said, you know what, 50 Cent, get rich or die trying. Well, that's definitely good.
Yes.
Yeah, only because it's something that it's not just a stupid little gadget. Like I said, I feel like it's a necessity in the world today.
It really is.
I'm just keeping that family connection alive. Is just eats at me every day.
Yes.
I want my kids to know everything they can know about it. I did a focus group in a couple of classrooms in Jersey, and kids were like 10 years old, and I said, 3 classrooms, 2 children in 3 classrooms knew their grandmother's maiden name and where she was from.
Wow.
2.
Wow.
And I said, really? I said, was she born here in the U.S.? And I just got the shrug of the shoulders. And I'm thinking, that is sad.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. My in-laws are from Italy, and they tell my kids stories. Their mouths are wide open. Their jaws drop,
Yeah.
Growing up in a house with no windows and, 5 kids, only 1 fork. So my father-in-law would eat, and then they washed the fork, and the next child ate. And they had to go out in the morning and get, eggs from the chickens, or they didn't eat. And my kids are like, what? I'm like, right. Just think about it. In their mind, they don't have air conditioning. They might die.
Yeah.
I'm like, air conditioning. He didn't even have windows on his house.
Of course.
So I need them to know. I need all kids to know. Life wasn't just like this with iPhones and computers and iPads and the luxuries of the everyday life, They need to know their history. I think that's important. Not just for my kids. I think all kids need to know that today. Yes. Education starts in the home. Education starts in the home. I'm a firm believer of that.
Absolutely. That's amazing.
I honestly think that that's what drew me to you, Marguerite, that you had that passion, and the same way I raised my children, just ask your grandparents and just have,
that's right.
Sit on their laps and ask them questions and get the stories, because there's nothing better than that.
100%. It makes them appreciate their life more, I believe.
Really,
and I think
for sure.
Makes them, in general, just kinder people.
It really does. It really does.
They become more compassionate, and they think they're just kinder people.
They do.
And as much as you want your children to be smart and succeed, you want your kids to be compassionate, kind people.
Yes, 100%.
That's what makes a good life in my book.
Yeah, for us too. And I thank you so much for
having good friends in your life to share these memories with.
Yes, to share.
That's way more important. I agree.
That's amazing.
No, we love that, and we love you so much, and I love your passion and your heart, and love where you're coming from.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It definitely rings true. We're very emotional, compassionate people. Yes. I'm not even joking.
Right.
We are that caring. I care way too much about people when I probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
But it's who I am. It's how I was raised, both mother and father side. This has been so amazing. So, Marguerite, how can people buy your product? What's your website so people know?
My website is just grandmas2share.com. The number 2, grandmas2share.com.
Okay. And now, is there social media? You have an Instagram that people can follow?
My Instagram is Grandmas to Share. We have a Facebook page, Grandmas to Share. We have Twitter, but it's hardly used because I think you need the visuals of the Instagram and Facebook.
Right.
So we use that more than anything. There are some YouTube videos up. If you do go to YouTube for Grandmas to Share, you might see some mixed in with poker, but there are Grandmas to Share videos.
That's great.
Yeah, I did an interview for the New Yorker magazine, so that might be up there too. But that might be mixed in. But yeah, anything you Google Grandmas to Share should come up.
Great, and I'm so happy that we're talking about this because the holidays are quickly approaching. And yes. I will give Grandmas to Share to anybody, even if they're not a grandmother. Here, you need this.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so beautiful.
Right. Well, we've had people that love it. Oh, I don't have grandkids, but I'm going to buy it and donate it to charity. I'm like, perfect. Orphanages, that's great.
Yeah,
we partnered with Hope and Heroes in New York City. It's a children's pediatric fund.
Really?
So all any proceeds that come in from online orders, they get a percentage of it for their pediatric unit. So we donated $100 to the hospital. So we went up and we brought the dolls in, and then the director had called me a few weeks later and said, the children sit with the doll while they're getting their chemo treatments and stuff. It's nurturing. A lot of kids, you wouldn't think it today, but their parents and their families don't even come up and visit them anymore than when they have when they're terminal. So to me, that's depressing and awful. And he said that they sit with the doll and it comforts them. And of course that makes me cry. Now I just want to give them all the dolls.
Yeah.
That's the point. It's a nurturing doll. It's to make you feel secure, the unconditional love of a grandmother. It's not a doll that you're going to, dress up and put makeup on. It's the doll to keep you nurtured and comforted when you need grandma. That's the whole point of the doll.
Beautiful.
So that got the point across for me when he told me that.
Well, you're awesome. You are so amazing. Thank you for doing this for so many people.
And Marguerite, since we are wrapping up, I hate wrapping up because I want to talk more. Thank you again. And also, always at the end of our podcast, I like to ask 3 basic, funny questions at the end. So the first question is, Who would play you in a movie?
Who would play me in a movie?
Yeah.
See, I have to go on the lines of a good actress.
I got this for you.
I guess I go with Sandra Bullock. Bullock.
Oh my God, very good.
I used to get that a lot when I was younger.
Oh.
I'll get that one. I'll go with her.
Okay. So, second question: what would the name of your movie be?
The name of the movie be Who Needs Sleep? Who Needs Sleep?
Oh my gosh, that's great. Okay.
Yeah. My mom calls me a grasshopper because she said I never sit still. I'm just hopping.
Grasshopper, love it.
That's amazing.
I'm a grasshopper.
All right. So the last question is, you're stranded on a deserted island. You can bring one other person with you. It cannot be a relative or a significant other. Who would you bring?
I can bring one person, but I can't bring anyone related to me.
Right. Or a partner or a significant other.
Right. So I have to bring one person?
Yeah.
Wow. Dead or alive, or they have to be alive?
No, it doesn't have to be. Dead or alive is fine.
Dead or alive? Yeah, that's crazy. I know. You might think I'm nuts, but if it's dead or alive, I have to bring Michael Jackson.
Nice.
Oh,
yep.
Awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Can't
him.
bring anybody related or my significant other. So it'd have to go with Michael Jackson.
Nice.
Yep.
That's amazing. Well, this was awesome. I've never heard that answer before, and I'm very happy I heard it.
Yeah,
That's
you might not find too many fans. I'm another diehard fan for that. You know, I met him when my son was 3, and we were all over the news and all over all kinds of things. So if you Google that too, MJ with Minnie MJ, you will see me screaming like a lunatic.
You're so nuts. We love you so
Your old
much,
son.
Marguerite. Love you so much. Love you. Love you. Thank
This
you
was
so
great.
much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Can't wait to see what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks.
Me
With
either.
what network? With what network? Yeah. We'll
I'm
keep that a
excited as
secret.
well.
Okay.
All right. All right. Mum's the word. I'm in.
Yeah. Love you, Marguerite.
Thank
you for
you.
being you,
So
girl.
much, ladies. Speak to you soon.
All right.
Have a
Bye-bye.
blessed evening. Bye-bye.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Wow, that was great. I can talk to her forever. And just,
She was amazing, right? Mm-hmm. I love the whole Staten Island accent. That's what I love about
I love the Sandra Bullock. She does look like Sandra Bullock.
She does. I love the answers.
And I love Sandra Bullock. She's great.
I love her passion, and that's what every single inventor, entrepreneur needs to bring to the table. Like she has it all. The whole Staten Island thing, like whatever. I mean, maybe I'm partial to like being raised in Brooklyn and all that stuff. Like I love her attitude, her passion.
She has she's a lot like you in that sense. Like you don't sleep either. You're very, let's go. You have so many ideas in your head.
Make it happen. Make it happen. No, so thank you so much for being on our show and just loving everything that you bring to the table. You were such a joy. Wasn't she amazing?
She was, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, awesome.
Everyone, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Once again, so grateful that you listen. Appreciate it. If you have any comments on how we could do something more with our show, we would love to hear it. I take criticism very harshly, but that's okay. I'm just kidding. I love criticism. So email us, theinventress.podcast@gmail.com. Go to all the social media for my mother, Lisa Askley's on Facebook, Lisa Askley's YouTube, Twitter, The Inventress on Instagram. You can find me, Brittany Askley's. If you try, there might be a few of me. On Facebook, I might not add you because I don't know who you are, but we'll get there. If you want to go and figure out how to become an AOE member, AOWIE.com. That also links to the inventingatoz.com website as well. If you have a product or idea, please email inventingatoz.com. And every person you listen to that we interview, such as Marguerite or even our other interviewers, they were touched by my mother's talent at one time or another. She can really help you out, and she's an honest person that really means the best for everyone. That she wants literally to lift you up, and that's the saying for Inventing A to Z and the Association of Women Inventors and Entrepreneurs. Listen to us on anywhere you listen to podcasts, whether it be iHeartRadio, Stitcher, all those good things. Please leave us a really good review. Rate us 5 stars, please. It really helps us with the ratings so more people can listen to us and do what we do best. And that's it, everybody.
Well, let's continue to lift each other up 2 hands at a time and bridge the gap between ambition and success. Until next time, peace.